Hey buddies, it's Bochi here, and today we are doing another Animal Crossing video. Today we are going to be creating a vacation home for Gala here, and she is wanting a bank. And she wants to watch over everyone's assets and, you know, look at money and stuff. So that's what we're working on today. Also, I want to do something different for this voiceover so what I normally do is I write a script, and in the script, I basically put down word for word what I'm going to say. I break it down into different parts of the video and just clip it together piece by piece and just be like, all right, so I'm going to talk about this section, and I'm going to talk about that section, and then we're going to have music playing in the background, and yada, yada, yada. Well, today I want to do something different, and I'm going to be honest, I'm a little nervous about doing it this way because I feel like it's different. It's out of my comfort zone, and I don't know if it's better or worse or what, so we're just gonna go with it. So instead of me writing a script, I am going off script, baby. I'm just gonna talk while, the video goes, and we're gonna throw it in there and hope for the best, and we'll see, if y'all like the awkwardness of me just talking during a video, then let me know down in the comments and, like this video or something. And if not, if you prefer for me to stay on script and just say, do my normal thing where I write everything out, because that's what a script is, then, let me know that too. Either way is fine with me. I just thought I'd try something different and, get a little wild here. So in this video, my idea was to create a bank for Gala. I wanted the outside to look very bank-like. Fun fact, I actually worked in banking for quite a few years. I've worked in both retail banking and I've worked in credit union banking. So I've seen, two different sides to what banking can be from behind the scenes, I guess you could say. And one thing that a lot of banks seem to have in common as far as the exterior goes is they like to have like a lot of plants and greenery around. At least the banks I was in. There's always bushes and things trying to make it have this really aesthetically pleasing look to it. And so I wanted to go with, not everything here is going to be symmetrical, but I did want a very symmetrical look for the outside of the building. And also, Gala had very specific items she wanted to use, and I ended up taking those items and placing them outside because I had ideas for the inside of the bank. And you will see those soon. Yeah, so I also wanted to use a bunch of shrubbery. I wanted to use the plants and stuff that, are furniture pieces, even outside, and I was trying to figure out how to do that. But at the same time, I decided I wanted to do like a little, not really a cafe, but like somewhere you could sit down and just relax outdoors, You know how sometimes there would be a bank and then right next door would be like a coffee shop, or there'll be like a shopping center and stuff like that. And I thought like a nice, cute little table where you can have like some coffee or tea and sit around while you're waiting for people to do their banking, or, maybe you have an appointment and you're waiting for it. So you decided to get a cup of tea and calm yourself down before the appointment because, dealing with the financials could be very stressful. So that's why I put this little table out here, and then I wanted to put like a little purse. You know, you set your purse on the floor and do your thing. Yeah. um, so that's what the table was for. And then I wanted, so a lot of banks, at least the ones I've been to, this is all based on personal experience, obviously. A lot of banks happen to have ATM machines outside of the branch as well as inside the branch. And so I wanted to put a little space where people could just, you know, get money without having to go inside. And that's why I put 2 ATM machines out here. I wasn't sure how I really wanted to design this part. I'm a very visual person, so I like to put stuff down, mess around with it, and then pick it up and then put something else down. Like, I need to see it to imagine it. So I do that a lot in my builds. Sometimes I cut it out when I'm doing a speed build, because it's literally me just like moving an item like 6 or 7 times back and forth, trying to really see where it would look good. And then I'm like, no, I don't like it there. And I just decide not to use the item at all. So I tend to cut that out sometimes because it can, I feel like it can be a little boring to watch, you know? So I'm just going through looking for different items I can add in to really, you know, give it that financial banky vibe, I guess? Is that a word? A banky vibe? What exactly would a banky vibe be? Is it just money? Is it like the cha-ching sign and dollar bill eyes? I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this. So yeah, I put a lot of flowers down. I decided I wanted to put yellow and orange. I worked at a bank who had very distinct colors. Not gonna say what those colors were. But I want to do that for this one too. So I went with yellow and orange. I thought they were really pretty. I thought they just gave it a nice little splash of color with all the green and everything else going on in this build. And we got the bird feeder. I wanted to throw some lights out there and just have, like, you know, light it up. Light it up. Sorry. Yeah, I tried to put out this evergreen tree thing. It ended up not working though. I couldn't find I really want to use this item, and I just can't seem to find the best spot for it. I don't know if I'm just too picky or what it is, but I always have issues with that. And then I decided I wanted to move the ATM machines back a bit. I thought that looked a little better. And then I ended up getting rid of the plants. And I decided to go in like a totally different direction. Here I am trying with this tree again. It's not gonna work, honey. You need to just give up on it. Give it up. Nope, still trying. We will never give up. All right, we gave up, finally. So then I decided, while we were doing this, to put a little table outdoors. Like, outdoors doesn't normally have this, but honestly, for this build, I thought it looked really cute. I wanted a spot where they could write out like deposits that you can put into the ATM machine, because if you didn't know this, you can put your deposits in your ATM machines at your banks. It's a thing. So I wanted to have the table out here, and then again, this was a piece of furniture that Gala wanted us to use. I know I can choose to not use the furniture that the villagers want if I choose the right option, but I like to see what they want to use, and then I like to think of it as a challenge, you know, like how am I gonna make my idea around these pieces of furniture that they want. And I see it as a big challenge. And honestly, like if it's not going with the flow of what I want for the build, I tend to throw it outside. And sometimes I'll even hide it behind a tree or something, so it's like it's there, but you don't really have to see it. Out of sight, out of mind, right? So yeah. And this is the finished product for being outside. I am actually very proud of it. I thought it came out really pretty. I was very happy with it. So then going inside, I wanted to make a fairly big building. I got some inspiration from someone else. I think I saw it on Twitter. I can't remember. It was a while ago. It was probably last month that it happened, but somebody had made a bank for Gala, and it was basically just a room filled with money, some bars, and a desk. And she was like this bank manager who was hoarding all this treasure and gold in the back room, and it looked really well put together. So I took a little inspiration from that, but at the same time, I wanted to put like safe deposit boxes in the back. I wanted to have a teller station, and I really wanted to put a lot of stuff into this build that was gonna look like an actual bank. And I took a lot of inspiration from previous banks that I have worked at, and as I said, I've worked at more than one. I worked with one bank for many, many years, and I had seen a bunch of different locations and worked at different locations, and they were all different, yet the same, if that makes sense. Like they had very similar qualities to them, but the building was different. So they tried to make them look very similar, but like they would buy an old building, so the building would be wood, and then the new ones would be would just have windows everywhere, so you could see in the bank, which I always found that kind of odd. Like, why would you want to have a bank with a bunch of windows for people to look in? You know what I mean? Because then they could just stand outside and kind of case the joint, right? I don't know. I've gone through, you know, another little fun fact about me. I did go through one robbery at the bank. It was not as bad as it sounds. Like it was, I know that's like, who says, oh yeah, I had a pleasant robbery? No, it wasn't horrible. It wasn't very traumatic or anything like that. It wasn't really a big deal, I want to say. Like it happened, and that really stunk, but we survived it and everyone was okay. And yeah, where I know other people who have been through some really tough ones and had to go to court over them and testify, and I mean, I had to go talk to attorneys and whatnot because our case was also going to court, but it was different. It wasn't in a courtroom. It was just getting statements. Like, you had to drive downtown, leave work early, which was kind of nice. It was always nice to, you know, when you get to leave your job a little early, even if you have to go make an appointment or something, it's like, well, at least I don't have to deal with people right now, right? So that happened. Anyways, back to the build. This is me trying to basically make a teller station and then have like the vault and the money behind the teller station, where you would count money, you would sort it, and keep like the bulk of the money for the branch. I'm not saying that's what you do in regular banks. I'm just saying that's what I wanted to do for this. Don't take this and think, oh, they have all this money in the back and this is what they do in real banks. No. This is what happens in my fake imaginary Animal Crossing bank, okay? Don't take any of this information and think, oh, now I know exactly what to do at a bank. That's not how it works. So I went back and forth with this a couple of times. I thought I'd put bars here and then there would be like a little tiny gap and it's like, oh, that's where they squeezed through to get back there into the vault. But it wasn't vibing right for me. I had this like little side area because sometimes you'll have like a little section where you will throw change and stuff for people who are buying rolled coin, especially if you have like a glass window between the tellers and the customers. So then you usually have like a little box where you put all the coin in and then you would give it to the person. So that's what I was going with for the little side thing. But then I decided to just scrap it completely. I didn't want to have that little side area. I don't know. It didn't look right for me. It wasn't vibing. Know what I mean? It just wasn't vibing for me. So then I decided to just put the bars all the way across, because safe deposit boxes are usually behind, you know, a gate or a locked door or something, to keep everyone's possessions that they are trying to put in safe deposit boxes safe. You want to make sure that no one else can get back there and mess with people while they're in their safe boxes and whatnot. So I put the bars for that. And then when it came to these desks, sometimes people will have like their desks facing each other. Sometimes they'll have them facing different directions. And I couldn't figure out how I wanted to set the desks until I decided, let's just put them like side by side with a little gap between them. I actually worked at a bank that looks very similar to this as far as the desks go. Like, these desks look like the desks at the bank I worked at. It's kind of wild, actually, and I couldn't stop thinking about it. And then it just like brought me down memory lane, thinking about all the all the different things that I went through at that place, and you know, the good and the bad. Because like any job, you have good and bad, right? And as per the usual for all the banks I worked at, the client seats were always really nice and comfortable. So I decided to go with like a lush look with the brown and the gold. And that grandfather clock, I think I moved that thing 50 times. I really, really wanted it in this branch because I was going for a very classic, old-fashioned bank, right? With the wooden walls, with a huge grandfather clock, and these like luxurious wooden desks. So that was my thought process for that. And then I decided, I don't know. I'm sorry. I really like this rug, and I wanted to put the rug down. I got distracted, and then I wanted to put some rugs down and add a little something to the floor. I thought there was a part to the video that was coming up, but it ended up not coming up yet, and so I kind of like paused, like hoping it was gonna be there, and then it ended up not being there, and you know how it is. Like, oh right, this is gonna happen, and then you're like, wait, why is this not happening? So I want to put a fan in. They like to keep the bank cool for the customers. And then I really love these little like milky lamp things, whatever they're called. So I decided to do some yellow little lamps over the desks. And I really like the chandelier, again, going with that like old-fashioned, very classical, upscale, prestigious bank aesthetic. So that's what we did. And then I wanted to put something in the safe deposit box room, and I went back and forth with different tables and what to do here for quite a while, like longer than I care to admit. And the thing that kept bothering me is these tables, and I know it's just the wallpaper, but still, I can't help it. I'm like, it's blocking the safe boxes, so people can't get into those safe deposit boxes, and it was like really frustrating me. So I did decide to use the marble pillars and make my own wall, essentially. And I was actually really proud of that idea. I know it's simple, but I loved it. And then I went with a smaller table, and I ended up getting the music box. Is that what I ended up getting? I did. I got the music box out, and I wanted to use it and make it look like it was the place where you store the safe deposit box codes and stuff. And like, I know it's a music box, but I put it in there and I turned it around to make it look like it was just an open little box. And I really liked that. I thought it was like a cute little detail. And as you saw, there was a banker's lamp. I really wanted to use it because this is a bank, but it wasn't working, and I already had lights I liked, so I just got rid of it. I wanted to put some cupboards up on the walls and some plants. Banks love to have fake plants, I've noticed. Like, there's always fake plants. And then they have like, some will have like little pictures on the wall. Most of them do like promotional posters. I used to always have to figure out where the promotional posters had to go and set those up, and that was never fun. But it was part of my job, and so I worked on that. I want to put little certificates up above the banker desks, because a lot of times bankers have to be certified in certain things. If you're like a certified notary, if you finished a certain course like lending and whatnot, or you are able to do mortgage papers and stuff like that, they have to have like certifications. And so I figured they would hang it behind their desk just to be like, yes, I'm certified in this, and I did this course, and I just thought it was a good little touch. And one thing I almost forgot about was security cameras. Like, when do you not use security cameras in a bank, right? So I had to put 2 security cameras up, and then I started messing with some more plants. I wanted to put a phone up. This is me just basically throwing everything on one wall before I decided to move it. So that's what I'm doing here. Just trying to figure out where things go. I put the light switch in the back because you don't want, customers to mess with the lights. And then I wanted to put this board in the back as well, kind of like it was, you know how you have like those things that have employee manuals and rules and stuff on it. That's what I was going for, and then it wasn't really fitting. So I put it on the outside, and it looks more like a little, a promotional board. Like, it's got a flyer. If you open this checking account, we'll give you $50 for free. And then there's like little terms on the bottom, and it's like, you must keep this account open and have $300 on it for the next 6 months. Otherwise, you do not get your $50 bonus. Because they always have silly rules like that. One thing I almost forgot to do was put in an ATM. And then I was like, wait, I have 2 ATMs outside, but I don't have one inside. So I moved some of the pillars and I put it there, and I think it looked really good, actually. I was very proud of this. And then usually there's like rope that I will like guide people on where to go, wait in line, but I didn't really like it that way. So I decided to rope off where the bankers were, kind of make it so people don't just walk up to them. They have to like go sit down first, and then the banker will call them over. I put a lot of thought into this. I was thinking of a lot of things from different banking experience that I had. So I feel a little dorky about it, but I had a lot of fun with this one. I didn't think I was gonna have this much fun, but it really was a fun build to do. I was hoping to find a villager who wanted like a spooky build, or, you know, something very nature themed, because I love using the plants in this game. I absolutely love plants. I like putting flowers and plants everywhere. Like, let me make you an indoor garden and it will be the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. Like, that's how much I like the plants in this game. I like green. Like, green's my favorite color, so I guess that's why I like the plants so much. This is where the very obvious idea came to me, that why wasn't I just using the little sectioner marble countertop things back there instead of trying to put a big table? It took me long enough to figure that out. So a lot of times in safe deposit boxes, there will be an area where you can go and you can look at the contents of your safe deposit box. So I wanted to put the curtain back there. I even looked at a little like powder room, but it wasn't big enough for that. So this doesn't have to be super realistic, right? I made the money shiny and sparkly because I thought it was a good idea. And this is the final product. I am very proud of it. As you can see, Gala and I put on our banker's best outfits for this. And yeah, I'm really happy with it. I think it turned out well. And like I said, this is a different way for me to voice over for a video, and please let me know in the comments if you liked it or not. If you're new to the channel, I would love it if you subscribed and checked out some of my other videos. I will have a link to my Animal Crossing videos in the the description. My bad. And I think that's all I have for this video. I hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will catch you next time. Oh, and here's Gala and I just staring at the camera. Gala is very pleased. Okay, bye!